A warm greetings to you all. I am Josephine Mini from the Department of Botany, Women's Christian College, Nagarkoil. In this video, we are going to learn about plant anatomy. Anatomy refers to the study of internal structure of a plant or an animal. This anatomical studies requires a microscope. To study the plant anatomy, we take thin sections of plant material and see it under a microscope. We see cells in that sections. These cells are the building block of the plant body, and for any living organism is made up of cell. And so cells are called as the structural and functional unit of any living organisms. These cells are grouped into tissues. These tissues later forms organs. Tissues are classified into two types. They are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. What are meristematic tissues? These meristematic tissues are growing and dividing tissues. So, these meristematic tissues will be found at the growing tips of the plant. That means it can be found at the shoot tip, either axillary bud or terminal bud. Also, it can be seen at the shoot apex. These meristematic cells are undifferentiated cells, so that we cannot differentiate these cells into different categories. These meristematic cells are small, thin-walled, and they are rich in cytoplasm with a large nucleus. These meristematic tissues are compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. Next comes the permanent tissues. The meristematic tissues, when they divide and grow, and when it attains maturity, these meristematic cells will be differentiated into different types of tissues and they will lose the power to divide. These different types of tissues, when they lose the power to divide, are called as permanent tissues. These permanent tissues are again divided into two types. They are simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. First comes the simple permanent tissues. These simple permanent tissues are same and these are similar in structure and function. The simple permanent tissues are again classified into three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma. These parenchyma cells are called as the fundamental tissues or ground tissues. The shape of the parenchyma cells are oval, rounded, polygonal or elongated. These parenchyma cells are living cells. The cell wall is very thin and they are arranged with or without intercellular spaces. The parenchyma cells associated with xylem are called as xylem parenchyma and the parenchyma cells associated with phloem are called as phloem parenchyma. There are different types of parenchyma cells. The parenchyma cells, when they are associated with chloroplast pigments, these are the green pigments found here. When the parenchyma cells contain the chloroplast pigments, these are the green pigments called as chloroplast pigments. So these parenchyma cells are called as chlorenchyma. When the parenchyma cells are arranged with large intercellular spaces, these are the intercellular spaces. Now these parenchyma cells will be called as aerenchyma. In dicot leaf, the dorsal side and the ventral side will be constituted with palisade and spongy parenchyma. The dorsal side will have palisade parenchyma and the ventral side will have spongy parenchyma. The palisade parenchyma cells will be elongated and the spongy parenchyma cells will be rounded or oval in shape. Functions of parenchyma cells. The parenchyma cells, when it contains the chloroplast pigments, it is called as chlorenchyma and these cells will does the functions of photosynthesis. The aerenchyma cells will contain air space so that these help in the buoyancy of the plant. That is, in hydrophytes, it helps the plants to float on the water. Then the parenchyma cells will be most often arranged with intercellular spaces, and these intercellular spaces will help in the exchange of gases. Then it provides rigidity to the plant, and the parenchyma cells also store the food materials and thus the functions of storage. Collenchyma. These collenchyma cells are living cells and they are compactly arranged. The cell wall of collenchyma cells will be unevenly thickened and the thickenings will be made up of cellulose and pectin. Based on the thickenings present in the collenchyma cells, they are classified into three types: angular collenchyma, lamellar collenchyma, and lacunar or tubular collenchyma. In angular collenchyma, the corners of the cells will be thickened with cellulose and pectin. The corners, the attachment when it attaches with the other cells. In lamellar collenchyma, mostly the cells are elongated and the tangential walls of the cells will be thickened with cellulose and pectin, and so they are called as lamellar collenchyma. In lacunar collenchyma, the collenchyma cells will be arranged with intercellular spaces, and surrounding the intercellular spaces the thickening will be present, so that there will be some space in between, and this forms a tube-like structure and it is called as lacunar collenchyma. Functions of collenchyma. Since it gives mechanical support to the plants, it is called as mechanical tissues. It also gives rigidity to the plants and it forms a framework for the leaves, because these collenchyma cells will be found on the either side of the midrib in the leaves of the plants. Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma are hard and lignified cells. Because of the hard and lignified cell wall, these cells will be very thick, and these cells, when it attains maturity, they become dead cells. The sclerenchyma are of two types. They are fibers and sclerites. Fibers. These fibers are spindle shaped. They are elongated and they will have tapering ends. The cell wall will be thickened. The fibers will be thickened and the thickening will be made up of lignin. Then it has a lumen which is very much reduced. The fibers associated with xylem are called as xylem fibers or wood fibers, and the xylem associated with phloem are called as phloem fibers or bast fibers. These wood fibers will be hard and the bast fibers will be very soft, and they are called as soft fibers. Sclerites. Because of the thickenings present in the sclerite cells, these are very hard and are called as stone cells. These sclerites occur in groups in the stem, whereas in the cortex and pith region of the stem of gymnosperms and angiosperms. There are different shapes in the sclerite cells. Based on the shapes, sclerites are again divided into 5 types. First one is astrosclerites. These are star-shaped sclerites and are called as astrosclerites. The brachysclerites. Brachysclerites are stout and stout. These are called as brachysclerites. Macrosclerites. The sclerites are elongated, and the elongated sclerite cells are called as macrosclerites. Next is the bone-shaped sclerites. The bone-shaped sclerites are called as osteosclerites. Next is the very thin elongated sclerites which are hair-like structures. These are called as the trichosclerites. So, in today's video, we have learned what is anatomy, different types of tissues, meristematic and permanent tissues, then the permanent tissues, parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So, in the next video, we will learn what are the complex permanent tissues. Think of what are complex permanent tissues. They are also called as conducting tissues, which we will be seeing in the next video. Thank you.